Alright, let's explore the Clerks ward. It's the same music as we have in the hive, so that's not. We still have harlots here. That's also the same. Let's talk to Diligence. The older, stern-looking woman is clearly on her way somewhere. When she notices your approach, she studies you with a disapproving, tight-lipped frown. Maybe she doesn't like our appearance in this. we are scarred and we don't have any clothes, right? The woman nods cutly, speaking in a tone cold as ice. Yes, what is it? Watch your words, for I am Diligence, fourth magistrate of the ward. Fourth magistrate of the ward. You are who? Diligence simply stares at you, a faintly disgusted look upon her face. Something troubling about my appearance? I should most certainly think so. Should the Apparel Regulation Act be passed, people of your sort won't be permitted to traipse about in such a manner, half naked and filthy as you are. I'm quite clean, begging your pardon, and meaning so no disrespect, madam. Some cultures might find your clothes offensive. I like to say this. You're quick to judge one by their appearance, aren't you? This look is all the rage in hive, Perhaps you should try it. It might just suit you. Yeah, this is the third one. I think that's the most disrespectful one. Her eyes narrow even further. Do not jest with me, sir. I have no patience for it. Now, what is it you want of me? Forgive me my folly, madam. To tell the truth, though, I am quite clean and meaning no disrespect. Okay. He examines you skeptically for a moment, then notes. Your point is well taken, sir. Still, though you cannot deny you are rather rough-looking sort of fellow. My appearance is merely a product of my environment, madam, and a difficult life. I shouldn't be held accountable for that. That's a fair point. Oh, but you should. How easy is it for one to blame one's life, one's surroundings for every failing? I can see by your manner you are well educated, sir, yet you appear to insist upon a lifestyle of wandering and senseless violence. Why not settle in sigil, becoming a contributing citizen, rather than some bloody-handed nomad in the streets? The choice is out of my hands, I assure you. Oh, how so? Her coldness melts away into a look of curiosity. Tell her your story or what you know of it. I'm just gonna do it. Diligence look. You finished telling her your story. Diligence looked shocked. That is quite a tale, sir. We're only a tale, madam. It's my life, and I have the scars to prove it. As you noted when we first met, I believe. Yes, quite so. She smiled slightly and slightly. You had begun to wonder if she was even capable of such a thing. I wish you luck, sir, in your undertakings. May you find yourself once more. Okay. She's a kind woman, maybe. In her heart, she's a kind woman, but she's kind of calloused over with all the other scumbags that are running around here. She shakes her head. I'm afraid I'm a busy woman, sir. My position as fourth magistrate leaves me little time with which to answer your questions. I'm sure another citizen could help you, however. She'll stand here and preach us about our appearance, but when we ask questions, she's too busy. Let's talk to matter of course. This giant of a man wears an equally immense suit of ornate red armor. He regards you cautiously but without fear as you approach him. Greetings. A booming voice echoes from within the great helm. Greetings, citizens. I am matter of course, bodyguard to Diligence, fourth magistrate of the ward. You must excuse me, for my duties lie at her side. Farewell. One moment. I had some questions. He simply turns and begins to walk away. They have this really interesting names, and you rush to talk to these people, and they won't even talk to you. Harmonium officer. See if these are grunts. This large red-armored figure is standing in place, carefully watching passerby. You dimly recall that his ornate armor marks him as an officer of Harmonium. It's not a dim recollection. We killed two of them. I mean, they tried to kill us first, but yeah. Anu provides law enforcement for city. Greetings. The man's eyes roll over the ward's inhabitants rather than you when he speaks. Move along. Wow, that's such a nice image. He's just being very vigilant about something. I don't know if he's specifically looking for something or just keeping the peace, but he's not even looking at us. He's just looking at the surroundings when he answers. I had some questions. Though most of his attention is still directed passerby, he takes a moment looking you in the eyes. Nothing for you here, move along. If you say something really offensive, maybe he'll catch our attention. I just need a few answers. I need help. And what if I feel like staying right here? Okay, that should catch. He shrugs, his armor clanking with movement. You are free to stand here, but not to pester the law. I suggest you leave before there's any trouble. Farewell. Okay, let's try again. He's watching streets and people around him, wary of any sign of trouble. You think you may have encountered this particular man before, but with the great helms at identical harmonium armor, it's difficult to tell one from another. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. The man's eyes are over. Okay, I had some questions. I sent a few answers. He shakes his head. Speak to the citizen. Speaks to a citizen then. I have a job to do here and I won't neglect it to speak with you or anyone else. Now move along. What? But I need your help. He hefts his weapon. You need help? Has a crime been committed? Well, no. I just had some questions. He sighs. I understand you got some questions in another time, in another place. I understand you got questions, and another time, in another place, I'd be inclined to help. But he pauses to peer suspiciously as someone walking past, then returns the attention to you. But this is neither, so just move along, sir. Now, he's a good guy. Let's just leave him be. Let's talk to this person and see if it's the same dialogue. Greetings. Yeah. What are they watching for? They're like standing right here in the entrance, watching at something. There could be something happening here or here, maybe here, but I don't know. It seems like a well-positioned place to look at people coming in and going out. What is this? You can't determine what this odd device is. Okay. Where should we head to? Should we go right or left? I mean, up or down? Let's head down. These wrought iron bars seem to serve as decoration rather than security measures. We've seen this kind of decoration also in the tattoo shop run by Fell. It had like snake-like metal. What is this? Frame coming out of the building and through the roofs. This looks kind of similar, but it looks it looks like decoration. These wrought iron bars seem to serve as decoration rather than security measures. These names are overlapping, so I can't read. Ponder thought and able ponder thought and I don't know, call come from. Oh dear, you haven't said a word, but let me just find you. Now that's the which. My good man, another ale place. This is an open bar. Check a roofless bar. Like this looks like a place where drinks might be served. Okay. You have Dacon, Anna, Nameless One, Mort. Oh, that's fine. Cafe patron. Let's talk to patrons first. Hello. This finely dressed, well-groomed man is relaxing here, enjoying the outside air while sipping at a beverage purchased from the nearby cafe. Greetings. Greetings too. He pauses when he finally takes a good look at you. Ah, to you as well, sir. He smiles uneasily. Something troubling about my appearance? No, sir. The trouble is mine. I'm merely unaccustomed to the sight of such a worldly-looking fellow such as yourself. He closes his eyes briefly, holding his hand to his chest apologetically. I pray you will pardon my blanching when I first saw you, sir. Worldly? Well-traveled, if you like. That's to say, sir, your appearance. Well, it's slightly disheveled, rough about the edges. You may find you stand out a bit here, but Sigil is full of oddities, no? Methinks the Clerks ward just sees less of them than the rest of the city. So, save for the fest hall, of course. Fest hall. I've heard this term before. Where was it being mentioned? Is it the place where Ravel Puzzlewell is? Possibly. We'll have to see. The Clerks ward. Well, the greater part of the ward, where I am forever doomed to spend the majority of my time, it seems, is dominated by record halls and administrative buildings. Not this section, though. There are some cafes here. Why are you doomed to remain there? He shrugs, looking away with a pained expression. My duties lie there, sir. My means of living. It's my place for employment. What do you do? He raises his hand, shaking his head. Oh no, sir, I shan't discuss that now. No talk of policies and paperwork while I'm away from there. And that's final. He smiles politely. Yeah, he's just trying to get away from his job and we're asking about his job. What makes this section different from the rest of the ward? The civic festival, first off. The brothel of slating intellectual lusts as well Not a typical brothel, you know. It caters to more cerebral appetites, tantalizing nonetheless. He smiles slyly. Go on. The other places I might mention, he ticks them off on his fingers as he names them. The Advocate's Home, the Apothecary, the Art and Curio Galleria, the Catacombs beneath the ward. Oh, we have a catacombs here? And the Tailor. Oh, I nearly forgot. There's a curiosity shop of sorts as well. That's a lot of places. In the lower ward, it's basically just Foundry and the tower that nobody seems to be able to get into. And we also not gotten into the tower. That's something we need to go back to at some point. I had some other questions. What is this place? He seems amused. Why? It's a clerk's ward, sir. New to Sigil, sir? Sorry, I added a sir in between. Wait, you look to be a man who seeks answers and not questions. Keeps to his own self. Pay my question no heed. He smiles. What can you tell me about the ward? Well, the greater part of the ward, where I am forever doomed to spend majority of time, it seems, is dominated by record halls and administrative buildings, not this section. So this section has a little more light-hearted enjoyment, maybe. But everywhere else, it's just like more administrative, bureaucratic stuff. What makes this section different? I had some other questions. What is of interest here? Civic Festival, brothel of... Are these two different places, or is the Civic Festival same as this thing? No, I think this is separate. This is a different. These are two different establishments here. Go on. Then there is Advocate's Home, Apothecary, Art and Curio Galleria. It's a lot of places here. Oh damn. Where could I find work here? The man wrinkles his brow. I shall take the liberty, sir, of assuming you're not seeking permanent employment. You might seek temporary work at the Advocate's Home or the Apothecary. And the festival is host to all sorts of goings on. You may find something there. I had some other questions. You want to ask about a specific place? Oh god. Okay. Never mind. Let me ask about something else. We'll come back here later. I just need directions and ask about a specific place. I've seen directions. I've seen directions. God damn it. This is one citizen. We were just trying to whet our appetite before talking to all of these important people, like named NPCs. But the cafe patron seems to be the one who has the most to talk about. What do you know about Ravel Puzzlewell? The name sounds familiar. Is she some sort of figurehead or a character in a book? I cannot recall. Let's quickly ask about these places, okay? The Advocate's Home. The Advocate helps argue cases, draft legal documents, and act as legal representatives for their clients. The one close by, Ianis, is well respected and quite dependable. He has resided and worked within the ward a long time. He has resided and worked within the wards a long while. How do I reach Ianis' home? Ianis' home is south of the gate to the lower ward. That's basically here, right? Where you first entered this place, most likely. It'll be on the eastern side of the road. Right side. So this is his house? Maybe this is his house. What can you tell me about the Advocate? Advocates help argue cases, draft legal documents. Okay, Ianis. You can talk to Ianis at some point. The Apothecary. The Apothecary sells various salves, potions, herbs, and the like. He frowns momentarily. The place's proprietors are a bit balmy, constantly sampling the store's stock. Good men, though. Is it addictive stuff? Why are they sampling it all the time? What? Oh, or maybe they are giving out samples? I don't know what sampling would mean. Would it mean that they are sampling it themselves? Probably that, right? How to reach the Apothecary? Follow the road that leads east from the gate to the lower ward. Very fast into this place, most likely. Where the road forks northeast and southeast, go southwards. God damn it. You will find it there, east of the road. It faces southwards and has 3 windows of stained glass. This is a very specific description for a real location that's painted out in like 3D. In the sense, like this had to be developed in conjunction with the map too. Like the dialogue had to be written. Either the dialogue had to be written first and then map had to be adapted, or the map was developed first and then the dialogue had to be slightly changed to accommodate this. What can you tell me about the place? Okay, so I think the directions we can reach as part of the second level in this questioning. So whenever you ask about a place, second level we can ask about the directions too. But if we want to just quickly know the direction, we can come back here and just ask him the direction directly. The art store. Ivana's Art and Curio Galleria is a most intriguing place. She has a collection of artwork, antiques, and artifacts from all across the plains. Artwork, antiques, and artifacts from all across the plains. How do I reach the art store? Follow the road that leads east from the gates to the lower ward. Same sentence. When the road forks northeast and southeast. Northeast and southeast. Northeast is northeast that. Southeast. Northeast is this direction. Southeast is this direction. Wow. Go southwards. You'll find there west of the road. It faces southwards and has a roof whose tiles are held down by large stones. Okay. What do you know about the place? That's fine. The brothel. A sensate establishment that pleasures one's mind and senses. He shuts his eyes for a moment, smiling happily. It is run by a most charming woman, far from grace. I highly recommend it if this is your first time in the ward, sir. Sensates. Sensate seems like the most self-indulgent faction, maybe. Not self-indulgent, just like the most carefree, party-going faction. I would like to see how they are going to convince their philosophy in like more formal terms, or like in a more serious tone. I don't know how they're going to convince that, but let's see. I mean, they probably will, but their activities are more towards, leisure and pleasure. So it's a bit more difficult to take them seriously, right? Yes, their proper name is Society of Sensation. They believe that the true nature of the multiverse can only be discovered through direct experience. Now, all of this sounds legit, but when you go on to the activities that they'll perform, it's probably be more towards I see. Go on. They dedicate their lives to experiencing as much of the multiverse as they can. They travel extensively, both across the planes and into the depths of their own mind and emotions. But they take a step further, Take it a step further, How so? They actually have found a means of sharing their experience with others with sensoriums. The sensates have created a means by which they may take experiences, capture them in stones, and allow others to experience them. The sensates roam the plains and search their inner selves for experiences to share with others. Virtually everything they have felt or sensed lies in their sensoriums. Okay. Experience are they like memories? Where are sensate? So we know that in one of the sensate halls we have one of our journals recorded. Forgot where the exact location was, but the barking wild starving dog, I don't know, his name was Barking Wilder. I don't know, the person we met outside Smoldering Corpse bar. He had mentioned two places. One place we already discovered, second place is somewhere in the sensate somewhere. So we probably had something to do in the sensate at some point. Actually everything they have felt or sensed. And this looks like I forgot what the exact time was, but if you have played the game Cyberpunk, there is this thing called Brain Dance. I guess it's part of the Cyberpunk world where you can like re-experience memories by like slotting it into not even memories. It's like a full-blown experience. So it's like a primitive version of that. It's being explained, like described here. Where are the sensoriums located? This experience memories. This sensoriums located within the civic quest hall. The sensoriums that are open to the public and those only open to sensate. There's a slight fee for using them, but there's a modest price to pay for the experience. Where is the quest hall? Quest hall is most easy to find, sir. It's a massive structure in the northeastern portion of this area. What can you tell me of the fest hall? So Seals, it's one of the Seals' most wondrous establishments. It's the headquarters of the Sensate faction, known throughout the multiverse for its concerts, art, exhibition, and lectures. But its most fascinating feature is sensoriums. Sensates? Okay, I see. Go on. How so? Sensoriums. This experience, are they like memories? In a way, yes, but very intense. Not memories that you have had, but another has had, captured within the stone. Captured? Does one lose their memory or experience put into the stone? Is it a copy or is it a cut and paste? No, he frowns. At least I think not. I believe the stone copies a sensory experience. You might ask the sensate about it to make sure. Okay. Mm, it started with a brothel, right? Jesus Christ. Okay. I see gone. Also, sensoriums. What are the where are the sensoriums located? Where is the festival? Sensate, sensorium, festival. Okay, alright. Did we miss anything here? How do I reach the brothel? Brothel of slating intellectual lasser. He smiles knowingly. It is just east of the gate of the lower ward, where you first enter this place, most likely. It's a large round building whose entrance is faced southwards. East of the gate. The lower ward. Okay. Catacombs beneath the ward. Okay. It is a mystery to me as to why the dabbers haven't closed them off yet. They are full of monsters, so it's said or so it said, horrible things that gibber and rule in the darkness. How would I find my way into them? Okay, how would I find my He frowns. There is more than one entrance here, I know that much, but little more. I would warn you though that nothing comes from those catacombs, including those who enter them. Okay. What can you tell me about them? It's a mystery to me as to why. That's fine. Civic Festival. This is a mystery. I don't know what a Civic Festival. I don't know what Festival means. I should probably look it up. Like, it probably has a meaning, like a specific meaning. Let me see. Festival. Is it like a festive, like hall for festivities? Festival. Doesn't really show up in my dictionary, so maybe it's, I don't know. Sigil's most wondrous establishments are headquarters of the Sensate faction, known throughout the multiverse for its concerts. Oh, Festal is like the headquarters of the Sensate faction. Sensate, yes, the proper name is Society of Sensation. They believe that true nature. Okay, it's fine. Specific place, Curiosity Shop. I won't profess to have been there myself, but I understand it's run by an improper importer of sorts, a half-fiend, in fact, whose goods come from the lower planes. A half-fiend? Not a tiefling, mind you, but a proper half-fiend, daughter of an incubus and a mortal woman, I am told. I care not for gossip, however, so let's speak of her no more. You said her goods were from the lower place? He nods, lowering his voice to a whisper. You know, sir, Bat or the Abyss and the like? Terrible places. Where can I find this curious shop? I've not been there, but I've had it pointed out to me. It's the southeast section of this area, an unusual building set up of a wide flight of stairs. Difficult to miss, really. Okay, so we had this quest to sell one of our companions. I think the quest was to take one of our companions to this importer and sell them there. The tailor? What the hell? You will find the Goonclaves, the tailor's shop, just to the north and east of the gate to the lower ward, where you first entered this place. Most likely it's a white building whose entrance faces southwards. Gonclaves is an excellent tailor, but he's short of temper and easily offended. I must warn you, sir, he will likely judge you by your appearance, and thus you may have a difficult time making a friend of him. You'll find Gonclaves, the tailor's shop, just to the north and east of the gate. Northeast. Very first in this place. Most likely it's a wide building. There's a lot of places to explore here. Jesus. Okay, there is the option for the tailor. Alright. Okay, we had a very lengthy conversation. And nothing in the journal was updated, which is annoying. The book has offered me another spell in exchange for selling one of my companions into slavery. I am to seek out Vrishika the Importer in the Clerks Ward if I wish to see this power. Man, this is such a heavy consequence choice to sell off one of your companions. You are one man short at that point, right? Maybe if we meet someone who is really annoying, we can sell them off. Like as our companion, if you get someone annoying as our companion. Cafe patron, let's talk to the woman patron. This finely attired woman is relaxing here, enjoying the outside air while slipping at a beverage purchased from the nearby cafe. Her eyes widen slightly as she takes in your appearance. She smiles uneasily. Ah, greetings too. Suddenly her eyes alight on more. Oh, what a cute little mimir. Isn't he? He likes to have the top of his skull scratched. I wouldn't touch him. He bites. Yes, yes. I had some questions. Then immediately, suddenly troubling about my appearance. I don't know what to say here. He bites. Let's see what this says. Truly, she remains smiling but looks suspicious. Surely, you just it's only a meme. What do you mean? Don't they all enjoy that? No, I speak the truth. Don't they all enjoy that? She shakes her. No, none that I have seen. They're merely objects, aren't? Mort interrupts her. Well, you see, Chief, it's all about the differences in the quality of your mimir. Some, like me, are more enchanted than others. That's all. More self-aware is a term. The woman shrugs. That could certainly be. I had some questions. Okay, what is this place? She looks at you as if you were joking and realizing you are not, gives an embarrassed laugh. It's a clerk ward you are in, sir. What can you tell me about the ward? Well, the vast majority of the ward where my duties keep me most often is filled with record halls. Okay. Your duties? My duties are to my employer. I work in one of the many administration buildings here in the ward. What do you do there? She shakes her head, smiling. Please, sir, do me the favor of not bringing up the subject. That subject, would you? Not here while I am trying to relax for a moment. All right. So, what makes this session different from the rest of the ward? The civic festival, of course. The art and curio gallery as well. Go on. Other places of interest might be Advocate's home, the apothecary, the brothel of slighting intellectual lust, the catacombs beneath the ward, and the tailor. That old little curiosity shop too. What is of interest here? Okay. Where could I find work? You seek only temporary work, correct? You don't seem the sort to be settling here, no. She paused for a second, looking you over. So I would seek work at the advocate's home, the apothecary, or the civic festival. There are doubtless some odd tasks that need handling there. Okay. I want to ask you about a specific place, but I don't know probably possible. Name sounds familiar. Is she a character in a book? The villain in a novel? No, I cannot recall. It's fine. I want to ask you about a specific place. The advocate's home. I will tell you what little that I can. Sorry. The advocate help argue cases, draft legal documents. Lawyer. Okay. So this is a valid term. For a time, I was suspecting that lawyer isn't a real term in this world, but it's the same. The one close by, Yanis, is well respected and quite dependable. He has resided and worked within the ward for a long time. Yanis told me south of the gate to the lower ward, where you first entered this place. Most likely, it will be on the eastern side of the road. This may be the festival actually. This looks like a very imposing building, and the decorations. I don't think an advocate would be doing all this. I mean, it could be, but more likely is that this is the festival. Some other questions. See directions. If I select festival here, festival is most easy to find, sir. It's a massive structure in the northeastern portion of this area. No, this is not northeast. This is southeast, like south. Just basically south. This is okay. She's standing right in front of it, but so she can say that it's right there. The art store. Okay. So most of the dialogue is same. There are some slight differences at the beginning of the dialogue, where she was acting more feminine, maybe being scared of the skull and all. Seeing directions. Under sigil the realm below. Wow, look at the. I do not know. I would be most careful where I to find it. Find it though. It is said that nothing comes up from the realm below, including those who enter it. Oh, that's a name. And under sigil the realm below. The brothel, a sensitive exception that exists to pleasure a man's mind and senses. It is run by a succubus, appropriately enough, called Far from Grace. This is a different dialogue. Sensate? Yes, the proper name is Society of Sensation. They believe that true nature. That's same. Sensorium. Okay, so that is same answer. Seagull Curiosity Show. Okay, same question. Sorry, same response. Taylor. Same answer. Alright. Oof. It took a while to get those conversations done. Okay. Now let's talk to an actual named NPC. Nemelle. Able Ponder Thought. Cafe Pattern. Oh, I could just disable tab. When I'm tabbing, then I can see both of the names displayed. But if you just hover over them, it'll just name Able Ponder Thought. Cafe Pattern. Let's get rid of all the exhaust all the cafe pattern options. So okay, I was trying to see if he had the response to, like, if he had the option to ask her if she was surprised about our appearance. But after our first meeting, it seems she's no longer surprised. Able Nemelle. Let's talk to Nemelle. This tall, slender woman sipping wine from a small ceramic cup appears to be looking for someone. Her facial features are elegantly exotic, and the woman's ears, though partially covered by her long hair, can be seen to come through sharp points. Greetings. The woman turns to face you, violet eyes flashing like flawless chips of amethyst. Her speech is as music. You can hear a faint musical tingling, 100 tiny crystal bells as she speaks. Each word linger in your ears as if they were unwilling to relinquish the exquisite sound. Nemelle turned to face the scarred door stranger. She asked what he wished for. Why is it in quotes? Nemelle turned to face the scarred door stranger. She asked what he wished for. Is she describing her own actions? Why would she do that? Is this one of the god people? Not gods men, but the opposite of a tiefling, where they're like they have a divinity as one of their parents. I think that was wow. Ha! Anna sneers at more. Stop your drooling, you leering skull. Okay. What a hot-blooded little chit. Starved for attention? I could rule over you too if you are just jealous. Maud started flowing towards Anna, making wet slavering noises. Get a hair's breadth closer, skull, and I'll see to it that no one of your chattering teeth lies within 100 paces of another. That's a good threat. Maud stops abruptly, turning away while muttering unintelligibly. You are Nemelle? I was told you know the command word for this decanter. Wait, what the hell? Damn, is it this person? I completely forgot, like, the specifications for that quest. It seemed like we had to talk to someone named Nemelle, and we are run into her accidentally. Are you looking for someone? Where could she be? Nemelle wondered. Her companion... She's quoting everything she's saying. I don't know, saying and doing. Her companion, Evelyn, was supposed to have met her here days ago. The woman sighs miserably. The air around her grows chill with her sadness. How long must she search in this vast foreign city before she finds her dearest friend? I could help you find your friend. What does she look like? I could find her for you, for a price, of course. What does she look like? Nemelle clasped her hands together and bows her head to you. She would be so pleased to hear the news of her friend. She told the kind stranger what Aileen looked like, so that he would know her should he come across her. An image forms in your mind, a woman who resembles Nemelle, but with the golden eyes and hair of fiery crimson. Okay. I'll return if I find her.
My journal.
Is that a quest? Find a Aelwyn for Nemelle. Agreed to help a woman named Nemelle find her friend Aelwyn. Hopefully she's just somewhere else in the Clerks ward. Okay. I offered to find someone named for a mysterious woman I met. I understand Avery to be a tall, beautiful woman with golden eyes and crimson hair. I killed Abhisai Grosuk. He helped me with my scars. I noticed quite an improvement in my general appearance. Good for you. Let's save and talk to Nemelle again. Before that, let's check the journal for decanter. Clive told me to seek out a woman named Nemelle in the Clerks ward so that I might find the word that will unleash the full power of the decanter of endless water. I don't remember who Clive was. Was that the woman who was waiting for Ignis to return? There is no Clive here. Don't think. Okay. That's okay. Let's talk to Nemelle again. Yeah, let's also check the entry for Asimar. I think Asimar was the name. Asimar, tieflings opposite number are children of celestials, inhabitants of upper planes and mortals. They carry a spark of goodness in their very flesh, yet some of them turn away from their heresy, though they are generally paragons of virtue. One shouldn't trust them without a serve. I don't know if she is that. She might just be a normal person. One smiles as she greets you. Her beauty no less breathtaking than the first time you saw her. Nemelle held her breath as the stranger approached her. Had he found Aelwyn? She wondered. Why is she talking like this? Oh my god. I was told you know the command word for this decanter. The woman makes no move to touch or examine the decanter, but only speaks. Nemelle took it from the stranger, turning it in her hands. Had she seen it? It's like before, she thought? Perhaps. Yes, she remembered now. She returned the decanter, whispering into his ear as she did so.
Updated my journal.
You realize you know the word now. Nidil no Saj. Though you are certain the woman never whispered to you, but merely said she did. She blinks at you. Would the stranger leave her now, satisfied with what she has told him? She had told him. This is a very curious woman. She is explaining her actions, but specific information she gives out, she doesn't really have to give out. We know it already. Or like after the interaction with her, we kind of know it already. Stranger leave her now, satisfied with what she had told him. Aelwyn. Nemelle listened to the stranger's questions but could answer none. He would have to seek his answers elsewhere, but I haven't even asked. Farewell then. She's like she reminds me of the character we met inside the smoldering corpse bar. The NPC O. Kind of very cryptic and out of this world. But a woman version. Let's talk to Abel Ponderthought. This older man looks somewhat bookish. His clothing and accessories are extremely clean, neat, and well cared for, and he often pauses to brush some fleck of dust or lint off them. A symbol resembling a stylized dagger pierces upwards through a flame is embroidered upon his tunic. Greetings. The man's eyes pass over you, gleaming as they fix on Mort. Oh, I say, would you look at that? A floating skull. Mort turns and looks behind him. Where? The man gasps. By the unjust laws of tyranny the merciless. Who? He suddenly covers his mouth and looks at Anna apologetically. Sorry. The man was a horrible tyrant, now long dead. Suddenly covers his mouth and looks at Anna apologetically. Sorry. The man was a horrible tyrant, now long dead. His name should never be spoken. It is rather vulgar. My deepest apologies, my lady. I did not mean to offend. Who? Oh, I guess. I guess maybe he's talking about what's his name? Parrot. After seeing Anna, I don't know if he's knowledgeable enough to know that. Anna strikes, rolling her eyes. Talk as you like, Atra. I care not a bit for what you say, unless you're rattling your bone box about me. That is. I don't know what the hell is going on here. He turns back to Mort, but behold a skull, buoyant, levitating off the ground, cognitive of its environment, and possessing hearing, speaking, and seeing capabilities. He turns to you as if you are suddenly a confidant. This is truly one of the reasons that the plains shall never become dull to me, sir. Just when you think you have seen everything, the plains show yet another corner to peer around, and he raises his hands gloriously. Suddenly, whole new wondrous vistas are open to you. Actually, talking floating skull thing is a quite common right up there with the self-resurrecting amnesiacs scoring. Amnesiacs scoring sigil for their lost identities. I'm not sure if Mort qualifies as a Wanda Twister. Oh my god. The man ignores you, looking to Mort instead. I say Skull, he begins. What a haphazard man. He can't focus on one thing at a time. He's just all over the place, looking at everyone and talking to everyone. He cannot focus. More gaps. Look behind you. Another floor. Oh my god. Let Mort have his fun. The man seems to have forgotten you entirely, instead turning in shock to look for this other floating skull. No, where? Right where I'm pointing. Mort speaks with mock exasperation. He just missed it. A whole parade of them. Probably never happen again in a million revolutions of the great. He turns and harams. I sense you also possess a peculiar degree of mockery. Finally, he realizes. More bobs slightly as if shrugging. I prefer to refer to it as keen insights into human nature. Okay. Get the man's attention again. Okay. Let's see how long we can hold his attention. He suddenly seems to see you for the first time. Okay. The man's eyes widen, but the unjust laws of tyranny, he catches himself looking apologetic. I say, are you alright? He fumbles for the word. Hurt. I'm alright. Okay. Right now he's actually surprised at our condition. He's looking at us and making a same metaphor. It hurts to look at him, it does. Anna. Very amusing. Anna had some questions. And what comment from someone? Oh, we had something going with Anna, right? I think Anna asked us to get rid of the embalming fluid smell. Maybe we'll have a shot with Anna. And a note comment from someone with what looks like to be a giant rat's tail sprouting from her bottom. Let's not go there. Very amusing, Anna. I had some questions, sir. The man notes eagerly. Of course. I'm always most happy to answer what questions I can, young sir. I had questions about you, about this place, about the city. Let's ask about him first. Me? Certainly. Who are you? Why, my name is Abel Ponderthought. That explains nothing, actually. The other questions for you. What do you do here? I passed my administrator exam just recently. Have achieved the status of an A9, a research consultant in the Hall of Records, one of the many aides specializing in Sigil's physical laws and history. I research topics and laws of interest to others. It's quite fascinating, really. What's that symbol embroidered on your tunic mean? Why? It's a symbol of fraternity of order. We are responsible for much of the lawmaking and running of the courts here in Sigil. Many judges, advocates, and clerks are members of our order. Advocates and clerks. And we are pleased to be able to help enforce Sigil's laws and keep things orderly. We make a strident effort to learn all laws, whether they pertain to Sigil, the planes, or the multiverse itself. What does the Fraternity of Order believe? The Fraternity of Order believes that the multiverse is governed by laws. When one knows all the laws, one will understand the multiverse. That's our goal. By understanding the laws, their limits, we learn to avoid certain laws. If you don't mind me asking, what sort of benefits are in the position? Well, a fraternity allows us to read languages quite easily, and we may use some rules of the multiverse on occasion to suit our benefits. Okay, it might be like I guess, or I imagine that one mechanic in this game would be that once we join one of the factions, we'll get maybe some specific abilities tied to that faction, and maybe some bonuses. Especially since it's a slot in our statistics screen, right? It's a slot in our either inventory screen or statistics screen. There is a slot dedicated to the faction that we joined. So there should be something more to it than just having a badge attached to our name. And another curious thing is that everyone in every well-educated person, or what's the word? Every thinking person in this place settles into one of the factions, and these factions are quite extreme in their philosophy. They're not they don't accommodate other philosophies, right? These people believe that order is everything, or law is everything. Then Mercy Killers believe justice is everything. Harmonium believes harmony is everything. Desmond has their own thing. and Sensate is about senses. Godsman is about like overcoming like challenges and like improving ourselves. They don't. I don't. I feel like that's not like a realistic thing that would happen if in our world, right? In our world, like even though there are factions, there are always at least things that are like of very high degree, high intellectual degree. It would always accommodate other thoughts from other realms, or not realms. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Other fields. It'll always be there'll always be some cross pollination of ideas between these factions. But this, it seems like everyone in here is like everyone who is like thinking properly is like settling into one faction or other, or like completely believing in that, and there is no midway for them. It's a curious thing. I don't know if there's an explanation to that, or it's a valid, even if it's a valid thought, but it's an interesting thing. Like all these 15 factions, everyone who's like educated enough, they might just fall into one of them, other than like maybe characters like O and like I don't know. Maybe there are characters who are like who take ideas from everywhere. Maybe I'm just not seeing it properly at the moment. Most of the main characters, maybe they don't fall into factions, but there are others who are clearly in under one philosophy and like not looking past, or like looking for other things outside. Yeah, anyway, I had other questions about you. I had questions about this place. Okay, I'll admit I know a little of this part of the Clerks Ward, sir, but please ask, why is it called Clerks Ward? It is the seat of much of Sigil's record halls and administration. The staff at these places give the ward its name. Many clerks, scribes, priests, bureaucrats, and administration officials live in this ward. Okay, it's fine. Lots of interest around here. This is one of the finest advocates in Sigil recorded here. Civic Festival, the home of Society of Sensation, is also located nearby. He lowers his voice. And the brothel, sir, of slating intellectual lust. Tell me of advocates. Let me check what slating means. I didn't really consider it properly earlier. Slating. Slating intellectual lust. Strongly criticize. I don't know if that's what it means in this context. He is also one of the fraternity of order, though in his time there has ebbed somewhat. Though his time there has ebbed somewhat since the unfortunate troubles he has experienced. I am not one to speak of them. His residence is just across the way, south and east of here. Okay, he's also talking about Ianis. Know of any work available locally? No. What's of interest? This is one of the finest advocates. Okay. Festa. It's a beautiful structure that is both the headquarters of the Society of Sensation and acts as a heart for the arts here in Sigil and the plains. It's an opera house, museum, art gallery, wine shop, tavern, training hall, theater, sensoriums. Many things can be found there.
Updated my journal.
Society of Sensation. They are one of the most prominent of Sigil's 15 factions. They hold the belief that the true dark of the multiverse can be known only by directly experiencing as much of the universe as possible, tasting every substance, feeling every range of emotion, and visiting every place in this multiverse. True dark of the multiverse can only be, it could be just that like this world, the nature of this world is like more permeable to people settling into certain philosophies rather than having like a wider berth of ideas. Yeah, let's get into it like later at some point, but don't think I would be able to explain it properly. They hold the belief that the true dark of the multiverse can be known only by directly experiencing as much of the universe as possible, tasting every substance, feeling every range of emotion, and visiting every place in the multiverse. Continue to listen. He continues. Their faction headquarters is at the Civic Festival, where they seek to bring experiences to all of Sigil. At the moment, they are the most numerous faction in all Sigil, and the most powerful. If I am not mistaken, the most recent census on the members is over 20 times 1,000 members. I have other questions about Sigil. Okay. Curious about Lady of Pain. What's outside? Where's daylight here come from? I'm curious about the factions. Yes, there are 15 factions still. Once there were 49 factions. Then about 600 years ago, Lady of Pain let it be known that only 15 would remain. That was known as a great upheaval. Okay. Continue to listen. He continues. And sure enough, in a fortnight, 34 of them perished or faded. Many thousand died by the sword or by other means. Many were simply found dead. I myself am a member of the Fraternity of Order. Others include the Believers of Souls, the Dustmen, the Harmonium, the Messicillers, the Revolutionary League, the Society of Sensation, and the Siositex. Tell me of the... Jesus, man. Alright. Fraternity of Order. Fraternity of Order believes that the multiverse is governed by laws. When one knows all the laws, one will understand the multiverse. That's our goal. By understanding the laws, the limits, we learn to avoid certain laws. Okay. Believers of Source.
My journal.
The Believers of Source or Godsmen believe that every living thing in the multiverse has potential to become a power. Okay. The Godsmen have their headquarters in the Great Foundry, and they have helped to keep peace and sigil in a number of matters. They have no desire to see any creature placed in Red Book before it has a chance to reach its potential. So this is a direct opposition to Dustmen. I'd like to hear more of other factions. Dustmen.
My journal.
Dustmen believe we are already dead, that sigil and the planes are where we all end up after we die. According to their beliefs, everything is dead and this existence is a false one. To keep any ties or feelings for this existence only prevents a soul from truly dying. Okay, so this specifically talks about the planes, right? So I have to go back to the diagram again, but the prime material plane, is that also a plane considered, or it's just the outlands where we have sigil in the middle and like 8 or 9 things surrounding us? I think 8 things surrounding us, yeah, with the distinction being made with both physical distinction as well as the distinction of law and order and good and evil. So that's I think the name was Outlands, right? So that constitutes the Outlands. I don't know if that alone is a plane, and they are excluding the Dustmen are excluding the prime material planes and other planes from which are like the elemental planes from where the beliefs originate. I think prime material plane is where the beliefs originate and shape the Outlands, right? But then there is the elemental plane, or like the source or something, from where the prime material itself begins. I don't know if all of these planes are encompassed in this single word planes here, or if the Dustmen believe that the people inside the Outlands alone is just living this dead life. Like, yeah, continue to listen. He thought, you see, the Dustmen believe that that death in this existence is a matter of degree, and only those who are truly dead and have digested themselves of all ties to this existence can hope to be at peace. A philosophy that has some basis in fact, but much of it bears further examination. Okay. Death in this existence is a matter of degree, and only those who are truly dead and have digested themselves of all ties to this existence can hope to be at peace. How do we... Yeah, this is basically my thought too, like the end sentence, that much of it bears further examination, because certain aspects are not clear from the explanations given. Yeah, I'd like to hear more about other factions. Harmonium.
My journal.
The Harmonium is devoted to peace and harmony throughout the planes. That's their name. They believe that the end justifies the means, however, and so are willing to do just about anything to get a fellow to see things their way. Regardless of one's personal opinion of them, they do a fine job of policing sigil streets. Harmonium is about harmony. They'll do anything to get a fellow to see things their way. But what is their way? Not sure. Mercy Killers.
My journal.
Mercy Killers believe that justice is everything. Malin, their last factor, once said that when properly applied, punishment leads to perfection. Okay. He continues. Those new to sigil oftentimes commit the error of thinking their name implies that they kill out of mercy. Rather, though it is that they seek to kill mercy itself. Mercy Killers. The faction members take it upon themselves to punish the guilty of sigil, whatever the cost. Okay, so their name, it's on the outset, it looks like they're saying that, they're mercifully killing each other, killing like wrongdoing, but they are killing mercy itself. They're like dealing out justice at any cost. Revolutionary League.
Updated
This is
my
something we
journal.
haven't encountered yet, I think. They're also called anarchists. Okay, we encountered anarchists, or at least spies of anarchists. Not many know this, but the Revolutionary League is actually quite widespread in Sigil, and a shame that is too. They hold the misguided belief that all institutions have been established to block their access to the truth of the multiverse. Okay. The only way they see to discover the truth is to tear down all organization. They claim that truth can only be discovered when people are completely free. I often wish that they would open their eyes to the truth around them. They do nothing but blind themselves and block everyone's access to the truth. All of these people are like so fanatical in their, not fanatical, like they're so convinced in their own beliefs, and it probably happened because they had some leader at some point who shaped the beliefs so cleanly, then and had a set of followers and thus developed into this faction. But 34 of them were killed off at some point by the lady. He gives a long sigh, then wags his finger disapprovingly as if talking to some imaginary bad child. It is interesting to note that they have no real plans for seeking the truth past tearing down everything that they can see. Very interesting indeed. He's very skeptical about this faction. Continue to listen. He frowns. It's also of interest that while the Revolutionary League has a large number of members, the very nature of this faction causes these members to work counter to each other's interests, often self-fights amongst each other, each one claiming to know their proper way to go about tearing everything down. Again, I think this person is he belongs to the fraternity of order, right? I think that's what he said. And so this anarchists are exactly the opposite of fraternity of order. One is lawful, the other is chaotic. I have other questions, other factions. Society of Sensation, Psyosis Tech. And I am curious to know what Psyosis Techs are. Fraternity of Order. Society of Sensation. Society of Sensation. They are one of the most prominent of the Sigil 15 factions. They hold the belief that the true dark of the multiverse can be known only by directly experiencing every possible, tasting every substance, feeling every range, visiting every place. Okay. Their faction headquarters is at the Civic Festival, where they seek to bring experience to all of Sigil. At the moment, they are most numerous faction in all Sigil and the most powerful. If I am not mistaken, the most recent census of their members is 20 times. Okay. Tell me of Psyositex. He harams. Rabble rousers. Not a proper faction at all. A raggedy bunch. Why? Even the Revolutionary League is more organized. The Psyositex thinks that by embracing chaos, they somehow discover the secrets of multiverse. Ridiculous notion. They are even more chaotic than the anarchs. And let's ask about something else. Let's confirm if this person was under the Fraternity of Order faction. It's a symbol of Fraternity of Order. We are responsible for much of the lawmaking, running the courts here. Okay, that's fine. So he belongs to the Fraternity of Order. You had questions about the city. Please, sir, ask whatever you like. I'm curious about the factions. I'm curious about the Lady of Pain. That's about Lady of Pain. The Lady of Pain, yes. She's the force behind Sigil, you know. Very impressive figure, but little is known about her. What is known about her, though? He begins ticking off the points on his fingers. 1. She is not just a symbol of Sigil as some claim. She is very real and very dangerous. 2. She is believed to be the one that keeps deities out of Sigil. As long as she is present, the powers cannot enter Sigil. Continue to listen. 3. She also prevents unauthorized teleporting and gating into and out of Sigil. It prevents the outer planes creatures from bringing even more of their kind to Sigil outside of their conventional routes. Outer planes from bringing even more of their kind to Sigil outside of their conventional routes. 4. She has never spoken to anyone. What the hell? 5. She usurped control of Sigil from Eoskar, a power now believed dead. Jesus. 6. Anyone who threatens Sigil or her is punished, either by falling beneath her shadow, which results in a series of invisible stab wounds that can kill even greater Batsu, or by being sent to the mazes, from whence few ever escape. 7. She does not like to be worshipped. Those that do are often found with their skin missing. The 7th point is very curious. What does it do? What does worshipping do to her? Worshipping is believing in her, right? Does believing in her has some effect? Because belief seems to have some sort of a effect in things in this world. The lore states so, and the person we met in Hive mourns for trees. He also seemed convinced that if we believe long enough, things can change, like growing trees. Can you listen? And lastly, the sight of her is believed to drive others mad. Interesting points. Let's ask these questions. She stole control of Sigil from a power. How do you know this? It's a belief of my order. You said the sight of her drives people mad. Yes, he ponders it for a moment. But I must add the caveat that I have never seen her. You understand? So how is it that you know she created Sigil? It's a belief of my order. That's a one-stop shop for all questions that cannot be answered. I'm curious about the faction, Lady of Pain. What's outside of Sigil? No one knows. And it's not from want of trying. At the places where no true walls exist are solid walls of buildings with no windows that look beyond. Some claim to have climbed roofs and seen the outside of the Sigil, but they can only describe the outside as nothing. This is fascinating. He continues. That is an unacceptable explanation, but it still remains a mystery. It is rumored without fact that to step beyond Sigil's walls takes the traveler to a random plane, but this has not been confirmed. The Fraternity of Order has mounted many expeditions, and we have yet to retrieve concrete information. Well, our fraternity allows us to read languages quite easily, and we may use some rules of the multiverse. Okay. Questions about the city outside of Sigil. Where's the daylight here come from? I don't see a sun. The haze can make it difficult to determine for certain, so I understand the difficulty. The light comes not from a sun, but from a gradual luminescence that fills the sky. Continue to listen. He continues. It reaches a peak called peak, then fades unless Sigil is completely dark, called anti-peak. The source of luminescence is unknown, but it's most likely the lady's will. The lady? He begins ticking off the points. One, she's not just a symbol of Sigil. Alright. Attempt to interrupt him. Jesus, he's just going on. He seems to know a lot. And this information about Sigil, I think we already had some hints about like the physical existence of Sigil. It's atop an infinitely high tower, and it's said to be at the center of the Outlands. And it's located in a ring around the tower. And infinitely I forgot the tower, the name of the tower, but whatever the name be, there's an infinitely high tower, and Sigil is like a ring around that tower. But nobody can see outside. And people who are seeing outside describe it as nothing. And even more curiously, there are buildings that act as walls. And if you go into those buildings, there are no windows that open to outside. It's such a... Imagine living in one of those buildings. You're at the precipice of such a mysterious thing every day, day in and day out. Alright. Whatever drives people mad. Yes. Alright, let me ask about something else. About the city. About the factions. Great upheaval. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 of them listed here. We have encountered most of them at this point. Maybe except anarchists we have encountered. Anarchists and sensates. We haven't encountered these two. Siositex, I suspect... I want to check what Anna's faction is. I know Anna is dedicated to a faction. It was a faction that said that these are individuals clubbed together just so that they don't belong in... Like, they don't feel alienated from other factions or something like that. Let me just quickly check that. She's not Siositex. I don't think she's that. But I think she is a specific faction, interesting faction. Faction group of individuals who hold similar beliefs about the nature of multiverse. Belief is power on planes. If enough people believe in an idea, that may become reality. Maybe that's why it's so important to be in a faction. Free League, in-depths. That's their faction. In-depths are individualistic bloods who have banded together to protect themselves from other factions. Truth? There is no truth. Just leave free or die. Okay. No one else is joined in a faction. Not even us. Is there anything left for... good sir, we meet again. I was thinking he begins talking at length of the structure of the administration complex he works in and how various improvements in workflow could be facilitated through the use of rotating schedules. Some other questions eagerly. Of course. I'm always most happy to answer the questions I can, young sir. What do you know of Ravel Puzzle Well? Ravel, if she truly existed, and there is little proof that she did, was a night hag, one of the inhabitants of the Grey Waste, one of the lower planes, and believed by some to be the worst of the lower planes. Continue to listen. As the legend goes, Ravel was mazed several centuries ago. She was believed of being a mistress of many strange magics. And apparently her presence in Sigil is considered a threat to the lady. I'm afraid that I know little about her. This is the first time... We know that we had previous iterations of Nameless One wandering around and causing chaos. But this is centuries ago. I think at most we assumed it was a century ago. We heard mention that Nameless One had acted maybe a century ago at most. Maybe as part of like Ignis or like part of the gang of Ignis or like I don't know. At some point we heard that at most a century ago some version of us existed. But this is like several centuries ago. And it's at that point that we were made immortal, probably. Because Ravel stole the soul either by command or by her own will. Mazed. The mazes, these are creations by the lady, you see. She takes a small piece of sigil, copies it, then uses a portal to place a copied bit into deep ethereal. Once there, the piece of sigil then becomes a demi-plane, an endless maze that curls and twists about itself. Listen. He continues, the lady uses these mazes to imprison anyone who threatens her power. Once she has determined that you are able to be imprisoned, there is no escaping them. There is believed to be a way out of each maze, but it is most likely extremely difficult. It is believed to be a way out of each maze, but it's most likely extremely difficult. Why even give a way out? Just to make it fair? If she wants to kill someone by mazing them, I guess it's on her own rules. Like, she doesn't feel satisfied unless there is an entrance, but it's so well hidden that they die anyway. The man nods eagerly. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We are almost past an hour, so... we are past an hour, so what we're going to do is we have more people to talk to here. We have to talk to Barkeep and the Drunken Mage and other people here. But before that, I think what we'll do is we'll head back to sorry, let's decanter. Let me see. Someone named Nemelle gave me the command word for the magical decanter I had found. Needled, no, whatever. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back to Ignis so that we can recruit him as fast as possible. Let's try to progress that questline, get it over with so that we have one more party member. We can also discard the decanter after that, hopefully. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to save, we're going to stop inside the Smoldering Corpse bar so that next time we start, we remember what to do, Wait, where is his place? Ah, there's his.
All right.
All right.
Done.
All right, we'll stop here and we'll start. We'll start next day trying to free Ignis. And then we'll return back to Clerks and pick up where we left off. Did our alignment change? I don't think so, right? We are still... Oh, we are true neutral now. We are not even good. We have done some evil stuff. I wonder what evil stuff we have done to shift us back into neutral. And I think none of this changes. Chaotic neutral, lawful neutral, chaotic good. Mort is the best among us at this point. Mort is the only good one. Everyone else is like neutral. We don't care if people die or leave. Alright, we'll stop for now.